and welcome to Tech Total Access. I'm your host, Alexis Craighead. So, since it's Halloween, we've decided to dress up as some of our favorite athletes. I'm former Pittsburgh Steeler Emmanuel Sanders, and
I'm Ronda Rousey because she is really freaking awesome.
And I am former Virginia Tech Hokie great and current Ravens quarterback Tyrod Taylor.
And to stay in the Halloween spirit, we held a pumpkin carving contest with some wrestlers this week. Mackenzie Pakovich has more.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm here with ACC champions Devin Carter and Zach Nybert for some pumpkin carving. Now you guys get to vote on your favorite pumpkins. Go to VTTV's Twitter at VTTV33 and retweet the picture of your favorite pumpkin.
Don't forget to visit us on Twitter at VTTV33 to vote on your favorite pumpkin. And make sure to check out the wrestling team this season. They're poised to have another record-breaking year. Their first home match will be next Saturday in Castle. Moving on to football, after a horrible loss to Miami last Thursday, the team is looking to save face against Boston College this weekend. VTTV was there to film practice this week.
You look at this Boston College team, and they're very impressive. Not the quarterback's the lead in Russia, but the other backs, they got some yards, and then they're just tough up front. Both sides, like Boston College, but I think their schemes really help them both in offense and defense. And, a really good football team coming in here, I think, a really good football team.
It's extremely important. I've been to the good bowls, I've been to the less noticeable bowls, and I want to end this year at a bowl game, regardless of where it's at or how we're doing, because that streak, I believe that's important to us as a team, the coaches, and all of our fans out there that are watching us.
Defensively, things that are very fixable, guys standing in their gaps, making sure you have leverage on certain plays. So just little things that we usually, are good at that we just got to get back to doing and, doing the little and fundamental things right.
I mean, I certainly wanted to be in any kind of national discussion and everything like that. But the thing is we're a team with a lot of young guys, and we got some good older guys too. But we're pretty young, and with such talent at such a young age, overall, we're kind of a team that can beat anybody, but we can also lose to anybody. And so it's frustrating. But you just got to take every game. You can't take any game lightly, and we just got to practice, and just focus on doing what we're saying we want to do, which is change things and get to a bowl and beat UVA and all the things that we need to keep intact.
I guess that's not really my opinion. I mean, I feel like we're playing hard. We're doing our job to a certain extent. I mean, take away those 3 fumbles and we would have had a different game for sure. But, excuses. Regardless, I'm having fun out there with the guys, and we're communicating. Lawrence was mad at me a little bit in the game because I wasn't yelling loud enough. It was so loud. So, we're communicating a little bit better and everything's going a little bit better.
I'm improved, learning more things throughout the offense, learning a lot with Coach Leffler and really just improving, working with these guys, getting timing down, and, things haven't gone, like we wanted them to in the win-loss column, but, we're gonna continue to improve and fix some of these little mistakes that keep occurring, and, we feel confident that we'll be okay in the end.
We can let that happen because then we get in a situation where we're playing not to lose. If we're saying we don't want to be that team that doesn't do this, or we got to come out with an attacking mentality. We got to come out, we want to win, not play not to lose, if that makes sense. So I don't think that should be in our minds, at least.
Makes you want to throw up. We went 13 games last year and we didn't fumble one time, the running backs, in 13 games. And then to do it 3 straight possessions, it rips your guts out. You can't win games that way, turning the ball over. Miami made good plays on all of them, on Marshawn's. The kid's fighting for extra yardage. My biggest fault with that was not necessarily the fumble, but I thought he was too high. We're on the 1 yard line. It's a safety trying to tackle him. What I've told him is that safety doesn't want to tackle. Safety does. Get low and run over the guy. Get underneath his pads. He got too high. Joel's, would like for the ball from a technique issue. He should have had the ball up higher. He was carrying it low. And then the guy from Miami literally put his helmet right on the ball. And then with Jerome's, a linebacker was in the hole that we didn't expect to be there. That Jerome saw at the last second. He tried to turn his body and protect himself because the guy popped up at the last second. It was a bang play. Hindsight being 20/20, you'd like for him to turn the other way and not turn to protect himself and turn the ball right into the guy or at least make a move on him. You teach off it, you learn from it. We emphasize ball security more this year than we did. Not that we didn't do it last year. We emphasized the heck out of it each year, but we spent a ton of time on it this year just because we've got such young running backs, and we're doing the same things, teaching the same things that we did last year. 13 games, it worked out great for us. We didn't fumble. It happened to do it 3 straight possessions on Thursday night, which is unacceptable and causes you to lose football games.
They're definitely a good team. We approach every week the same. Playing. We have a lot on the table now, so we're trying to make a bowl game, and we got to win the rest out.
We'll be right back with some R&R.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at Bedside.
So, first of all, Rachel and Ricky, we missed you guys last week, but welcome back. So, what should we be looking for in the game against Boston College?
Okay, so Miami was so horrible, I don't even really want to talk about it that much. So give me 1 point from it, Ricky.
Well, the Hokies gave up just way too many rushing yards, 364 in fact, and Duke Johnson just ran all over him, and it was really just start to finish a really bad game.
One of the worst games I've ever been at. So moving on, we're going to look forward to Boston College, and that game is at 12:30 on Saturday. Can we expect to win?
Well, basically, Virginia Tech had a really poor, defensive effort against the run against Miami, and now they're facing an even better running team in Boston College. They're ranked 11th in the nation And they're led by their quarterback, Tyler Murphy, who can do it all, really. He can throw it. He can run the football. He's got over 1,000 yards passing. He's got over 800 yards rushing. And he's got 8 TDs. He's a dynamic weapon, a lot like what the Hokies saw against Justin Thomas earlier in the season. So they're going to have to kind of contain him and keep him from just gashing them all day long.
I definitely agree that they have a good quarterback. Running is obviously a problem we've had with running quarterbacks. I don't know, it might be a little bold for you to say that they're definitely a better running team than we just saw with Miami. I mean, Duke Johnson was amazing. Beamer said it was the best running back he'd ever played against.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, they're a better team. But like you said, Duke Johnson is one of the best backs in the nation. Bud Foster said he was scared to death of him after the game, and Johnson showed why in that performance. But when you've got a guy like Tyler Murphy, as dynamic as he is, and then they've got John Hillman, who also has 9 touchdowns this season, that's a really big dual threat on the ground, and they run the ball and they run it well.
Yeah, and I don't know if we were able to talk about this because of the way the weeks lined up, but Luther Matty out for the season, which really hurt us in the run game, obviously.
Yeah, they were kind of hoping to get him back, and maybe his meniscus, tear wouldn't take him out for the rest of the season, but it looks like it's going to, and that's a big loss up front. He's such a good, run stopper. He takes up gaps, he just plugs them, and not having him up front is really going to hurt them moving forward.
Of course, on the other side of the ball, we have to worry about our offense, and I think a big focus is our offense not turning the ball over, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, they had 3 turnovers against Miami, and all of those easily could have been touchdowns. One of them was on the goal line. And you're not going to beat teams, especially in the ACC, if you're going to fumble the ball 3 straight possessions, and all of those possessions could have gotten you points.
Oh, definitely. And Brewer needs to, improve somehow. Beamer says he's still going to start, even though Leal came in and scored the only touchdown for Tech against Miami. So he's definitely going to need to step it up this week so that he can hit his open receivers and not overthrow them every single time.
Yeah, Brewer just hasn't looked comfortable at all in the pocket. His throws have no velocity, no zip. He's not accurate. His decision-making is slow. He's not, his reads are not progressing as well or as fast as they should be. So he needs to really step up and kind of take a hold of this team and kind of right the ship, because right now the Hokies are reeling.
Of course, I wouldn't say a positive note, but Marshawn Williams did look good against Miami. Not amazing. He had fumbles. He needs to hold on to the ball, but hopefully he can have another good game against Boston College.
Yeah, the offensive line was a little bit better against Miami. Brewer was only sacked twice, and the Hokies had 120 rushing yards, which isn't bad, but at the college level you'd expect to see a bit more, especially from Virginia Tech. But Marshawn Williams, he's the number 1 back right now. They really, benefited from having him back with that ankle injury, and they're really going to have to lean on him against Boston College.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to lean on him. Hopefully Brewer can straighten himself out so that we have some sort of passing game and have an even balance.
Yeah, and facing a Boston College team that's really been inconsistent this year, their biggest win was against number 9 ranked USC at home, but then they lost to Colorado State at home just 2 weeks later. So which Boston College team are we going to see? It'd be interesting to see.
And, of course, we haven't played well at home recently, especially early games, 12:30 again.
Yeah, and this is the first season the Hokies have lost 3 games at home since the early 1990s. So this is something that Virginia Tech in general just isn't used to seeing, that Virginia Tech's struggling at home.
We certainly haven't looked like ourselves this season.
So, guys, 3 losses at home, another home game, 12:30 kickoff. What are your predictions for the week?
I'm going to say it's going to be a cold, chilly, just altogether ugly game. Somehow, Virginia Tech's going to right the ship, 24-21 Tech.
I've got a Boston College victory, 31-20. This is the second game that I've picked them to lose. They did win the previous one against Ohio State, but I just think the running game is going to be too much for the Hokies, and they're going to struggle. It's going to be really cold. It's going to be really rainy, possibly snow. It's just going to be an ugly game.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk.
every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
The volleyball team had 2 games this weekend against Notre Dame and Clemson. David Jones was at both games.
Hi, I'm David Jones reporting from Castle Coliseum, where the Hokies have just beaten out rival Notre Dame.
Good to have this win under our belt, especially in October. October's a hard month, and I think just this will boost our confidence and hopefully just give us a good platform just to spring off of from here. And we've been working really hard in practice, and I think it finally all came together tonight, and hopefully it'll last throughout the rest of the season.
I think that it's something that we really needed at this moment in our season, and this win will help us turn around, finish out the rest of the season strong.
Honestly, I thought we passed much better than we did in the early part of that match, and it turned it around. We were in system quite a bit. We're pretty tough to defend when we are, and I thought Amanda McKenzie and Megan Beckwith played very well in serve receive and gave us a big advantage tonight.
Hi, I'm David Jones reporting from Castle Coliseum, where the Hokies have just lost to rival the Clemson Tigers.
We had really great moments at times, and we had it in that fourth set, and I think we got a little too comfortable with our leads that we had. We noticed it in the third set that we let them come back, and we weren't able to stop it in the fourth set.
I thought today was pretty tough on us because we are kind of in this mental block that we haven't played a team that we haven't been able to beat, but we're in this mental block, and it's on us. That game was, Clemson played really well at the end, but it was on us to not get in a lull and finish it and not get them back in the game. So it's mostly just our side of the net, focusing on us mentally, how we can finish the game.
What are you frustrated? Tired of losing close games, and we're losing all of the close games. So frustrated because we're, we out-hit them, we out-dug them, we had all the things that you look for statistically, but we lose. So we put ourselves in a position to win. We had it in the fourth set, and then just let them get back in rather than finishing it. So it's very frustrating.
The women's soccer team took on rival UVA on Sunday. Alexis Walsh has the game highlights.
The number 14 women's soccer team just lost to number 3, Virginia, 2-0. The Cavaliers were able to score early, getting their first goal of the game at the 11th minute mark. Then, 5 minutes into the second half, the Cavaliers scored their second goal, putting Virginia Tech away 2-0. The Hokies will play again next Saturday when they take on Louisville.
Disappointment that it's a loss. I think, senior night, it's always a little bit hard to come off with a loss. So it's a hard one. I think we need to put a little bit more energy and passion into it. So I think that this week of practice is going to be extremely important, and we're looking to go forward. So,
say negatives. We lost, but positives. I say we worked really hard. It was senior night. We all worked for our seniors and just couldn't get the result.
Well, I thought we had a slow start today, and they were a very good side, and they were able to capitalize and jump on us early with that goal off the set piece. And it's been unfortunate. We talked about set pieces and how strong they are. They're very dangerous on set pieces, and we didn't defend it very well, and they buried the chance. So put us chasing the game. We tried to get a flow, struggled to get a flow, and they're a very good side. So. Disappointed in our group today that we couldn't get the flow going and get some tempo in our possession. And in the end, we played a little bit more direct and just tried to get chase the game, and just frustrated with that.
Reporting for VTTV, I'm Alexis Walsh.
Men's soccer battled Davidson Tuesday. Elaine Lewis has more.
I'm here at Thompson Field, where the Virginia Tech Hokies just tied to the Davidson Wildcats 0-0 in double overtime.
The Hokies men's soccer team took on the Davidson Wildcats in a game that ended up scoreless on both sides. Virginia Tech totaled 13 shots with 4 of them on goal, while Davidson totaled 15 shots with 4 on goal. Hokie goalkeeper Ben Lundgaard had 4 saves for the night, while forward Ricardo John had the team high of 5 shots. Coach Bresendine talked after the game about why neither team was able to score.
Two very good teams that didn't finish their chances. They hit a couple up the post. We had a couple in some very dangerous spots. That's usually what the difference is, a mistake and then finishing those opportunities at the end of the game.
I thought the second half was a lot better than the first half. We definitely came together as a group mentally, which we need to carry into Friday and play as a group and really focus on the game plan and come out victorious.
Well, we just got to keep working hard so we can play like we did in the second half. So we can work hard like they did, like the other team does every game. And when we work hard, we can beat anybody.
Reporting for VTTV, this is Elaine Lewis.
We'll be right back.
Thank you, dear. Oh, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Before the Thursday night game against Miami, VTTV talked to tailgaters about the football team's ACC hopes, game predictions, and their thoughts on the season as a whole.
Despite a couple of poor games, we could still be in with a real shot. As long as this game tonight goes well, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, I think that obviously FSU kind of has the ACC kind of tied up, but in terms of like the Coastal Division, it seems kind of like Georgia Tech is kind of leading it as of right now. So I don't really know what's going to happen in the future, but I feel like FSU is probably going to be the leader in the ACC overall.
It's going to be a close game. 2 1-2 teams in the ACC Coastal, and but we've been here before. We've been here before for Thursday night games. It's an incredible Thursday night atmosphere with the lights on. We have run on the field before for Miami victory, and we're going to beat Miami tonight.
It's going to be a close one, but Virginia Tech are going to take this in the fourth quarter.
I think as long as Brewer doesn't make poor decisions, and as long as our defense holds up in the secondary, then I think we'll hold on to win. I agree with Neil.
It kind of depends on where their head is in the game and if they really focus on their plays and like what they need to get accomplished instead of letting it kind of go to their heads. Because we had the Ohio State game and that was a high point, and then we had a kind of a low streak, and so we don't want to keep that low streak going. So if we win tonight, I think it'll be a good positive uphill climb for the rest of the season. So let's hope.
We're gonna win. And that's basically what's going to happen, because if we don't, I'm going to be terribly upset. So, props kebab, going to win.
Did anybody think we were going to beat Ohio State? What are we to complain about? We did fine. We're doing fine. We exceeded our expectations. We're doing fine. Next year's going to be even better. But relax. This is Hokie football. Let's go play.
I'd say that it sort of stunk that the Ohio State game wasn't a home game, because that would have just been outstanding. But I think they're just a little inconsistent, but it's still been fun to watch because the highs are really high. They just need to level it out a bit, I guess, with the lows. Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a rocky start of the first few games. We've been up and down, but as long as we can get our act together in the next few weeks,
we can still have a great season.
I think that if Michael Berg stops throwing interceptions, that would be a really good thing because we have a really good defensive line, and so that's a strong point. But as long as the guys just keep it together for the rest of the season, I hope we do well. We have the potential. That's what I think is going on, but we'll have to see.
On Friday, the baseball team held their annual Shave for the Brave event. Jill Hurt was there to give you the inside scoop.
I'm here at English Field where the baseball team is having their Shave for the Brave event, which is one of their 19 ways to make a difference in the community. For the 5th straight year, the Virginia Tech baseball team held their annual Shave for the Brave event at English Field. The players shaved their heads to show support for pediatric cancer and exceeded their goal of raising $30,000 to benefit the St. Baldrick's Foundation, an organization that supports childhood cancer research. Great clips came to shave the players' heads after a preseason scrimmage. Donations made during the 5th inning of the scrimmage were matched by head coach Patrick Mason. With this event, the team has reached their goal of raising $100,000 over the past 5 years. Shave for the Brave was instituted by former head coach Pete Hughes as one of the 19 ways the team makes a difference in the community each year. The event honors Levi Brown, an adopted member of the Tech baseball team, who was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor at age 4. Now 14 and cancer-free, Levi is here at the Shave event. Matt Doby talks about why the event is important to Levi.
Well, it feels really good. During the game, we had Levi, who our team sponsors actually. We had him come out and make a pitching change, and he battled cancer and won the battle. And to have him out here and just see like the smile on his face and how grateful they are for everything we're doing it's a really humbling feeling. John Woodcock was encouraged to raise money for this cause because he has been personally affected by cancer.
Yeah, I actually lost my grandma when I was about 8 years old. She had lung cancer, so I know what it's like going through a tough time, so it was nice just to help out as much as we can.
Coach Mason describes why he decided to adopt the 19 Ways initiative from former head coach Pete Hughes.
I mean, the tradition was so rich in what we gave back to the community. Shame on us if we don't try to make a difference.
Reporting for VTTV, this is Jill Hurt.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Tech Total Access. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and don't forget to tune in next week for more hard-hitting sports action. As always,
Go Hokies!